OTK, Cyber Angel deck profile, my bro, Mr. Robinson.
What's good? The Jizzy.
All right, so let's get into it.
Fresh from the lab, you know. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this is my first Cyber Angel deck profile with some text. First of all, you start off with the standard triple Ben 10. Everybody knows what this does by now. If you don't, then you haven't been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Go ahead. I run double Idaten. Once again, this is a more heavy Cyber Angel build. I don't rely on Herald. I think relying on Herald is stupid. It's because as soon as you get Kaiju, you lose. Idaten boosts everything up by 1,000 when it's tributed. When I summon it, I get to search for any ritual spell card out of my deck. Same as Ben 10. I actually use their onboard effects very well. I've won so many games with Ben 10 because its effect is actually kind of killer. That when it destroys a monster by battle, it takes my whatever defense it has out of my opponent's life points. Everything in all the main decks, all the main meta decks now have, all the monsters have big butts. Blue Eyes, whatever, ABC soon, all those things like that. So I mean, I hit a Blue Eyes guy. I hit his what's that? The new ritual one, Chaos Max. His Chaos Max. Obviously, it has 0 defense. Then I know he had one. I hit his alternative that won me game. Yeah, this is both of these 5 standard. I think you need to run these 5. That's what I've been doing. Last Cyber Angel, Dakini, great card. I don't know why people sleep on it so much. Outs pretty much any problem monster in the game, your Ultimate Falcons, etc. Anything like that, any kind of flood game monster, it can out it. Obviously outside of vanities, since they keep you from special summoning altogether. But it just pretty much gets over any kind of problem monsters. It just kind of sit there, can't be targeted. Your Kirans, your if that's the only one they have on the field, your Ultimate Falcons, anything that's kind of just sitting there and that can't be targeted or is unaffected. Dakini's effect affects the player, not the monster. Also has a great end phase effect, where you can pretty much kind of get like a Scarm effect from the graveyard on every end phase and get a Cyber Angel back from the grave, and it also makes all your rituals piercing. Great card.
All right. I have a question.
What's up?
Do you run any Sephiras in your build?
I don't at all.
Why not?
Saphira is not that good.
Do you run Herald at 3?
I do not.
Why not?
Well, you're about to see. I run the 2 Herald. You don't need Herald at 3 at all. First of all, if you're playing the deck right, once you get the first one on board, you probably should be winning the game. Probably should be pretty set to win the game. Once again, outside of being Kaiju, maybe, as I said, the only 2 are necessary. If they out one, I have another. That's fine. The third just turns into discard fodder. And I'd rather have that just be another usable fairy, not just a ritual monster sitting in my hand to be discarded. So once again, 2 is all that's necessary. And in my opinion, you should just not be relying on Herald to win you the game. There's certain chains and things like that the Herald cannot negate and get around. I know PK creates a few of those. Burning Abyss creates a few of those scenarios where the chains that they create will win out, and it can still get Farfud and whatnot. So once again, 2 Herald is good. It adds strong backbone to the deck, and it's good another win condition, but you shouldn't be relying on it, in my opinion. Personal attack, Big Herald, Ultimateness, great card. This single-handedly stops pendulums. No pendulum can play. If I go first with this, or if I can establish this right here in clear field, or attack over anything, any kind of board-altering advantage, whether I attack over something or say Darkhold them or Geki them and then get this on board, they just cannot purely play Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. Magic Specters, Odd Eyes, you name it. If it's Pendulum, they cannot play. This stops inherent summons of all kind. Whether it be Cyber Dragon, stops Alternative, it stops Synchro, stops Exceeds. Then obviously does the same thing as Perfection. Any spell, trap, or monster effect outside of a counter trap, this gets stopped dead in its tracks. Beautiful 3,000 defense, 2,000 attack. But if this card was any more powerful than 2,000, then probably shouldn't even be allowed in the game. That's it for the blue guys. Now to the effect monsters. 3 stick, we know what it does.
Yep.
3 chair.
Yeah.
My personal tech MVP of the deck, Geldagra. If I play Geldagra, I win.
Okay. So okay, guys. For you guys wondering, he said if he plays Geldagra, he wins. So you guys might be asking why he's gonna win with that. Well, Why are you gonna win if you summon him?
Well, what happens is Gildogger, I can pay 3,000 life points, and once again, life points are life points to be used. Sometimes people need to stop thinking of them from a defensive standpoint and utilize them to actually push for a game. This enhances your game state. I run this over a pot of stupidity. Let's use the OCJ name. I mean, I personally think that card is garbage. I know some people agree or disagree rather. Neg 10 to draw 2 when you don't even know what you're going to draw into, or if you banish too many assets, is stupid. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're running 45 card decks just to be able to play that card. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I personally, and I can say truthfully, I have not lost a single match or somebody played Pot of what is that thing called? Pot of Desires in OCG. It's garbage. I personally think it's trash. It's going on for almost $100. If you want to spend $100 on that trash, go ahead. Banish 10 out your deck and lose. Go ahead. If people talk about the rare case, so well, I plus 2'd into someone like, okay, bro, that's pure luck. You banish 10. You banish 10. I personally think it's trash. You can disagree with me if you want to. I don't. This enhances your game state so much better because I get exactly what I want, and I'm able to also fill my graveyard with fairies for another purpose in the deck. What you're gonna do? You're gonna pay 3,000. You're gonna dump your Herald of Arclights and get their search effects. And then you pretty much going to win from there. Especially if I open this in pre-preparation of rights, it's game. Period. There's nothing they can do. Double Honest. I see people running this at 1. Bottom line is Honest wins games, and it's still a fairy. Your fairy count needs to be high, so your negations are effective. Once again, we don't want to rely on them, but we don't want to just necessarily run out and be caught in a pickle. Honest, to me, staple at 2. I can run it at 2. I'm going to run that too. 2 Manju. Stratos for the deck. Gets anything you want. However, only 2 are necessary. I got enough searches for all my ritual support, so you don't need 3. I mean, the third one would just be discard fodder. Once again, I'm looking for reliable plays, +1s, something that enhances my game state every turn. And, famous words of Jeff Jones. I like things that I don't like running cards that make your good hands better, but your bad hands even worse. To me, running this at 3 creates too many situations where your good hands become better, but your bad hands are even worse. And so, you're seeing this instead when we had a ritual spell card already there, so you don't waste your normal summon. 2 is perfect. And then, once again, on Christia, you only need 1. Christia can be found at any point in time. And once you get Christia with any form of anything on board for protection, it's pretty much game. They can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, it gets like another asset for negation when it's summoned. Gets like a spirit from the graveyard. Great card, excellent. If you're not running this in your build, you're just not trying. Personal attack. To me, this is what really makes this deck pop. I haven't actually really even lost a mirror match with this yet. Simply because Herald of Orange Light. It gives me synchro access. It's discard fodder, obviously, for my heralds. It's a good good level 2. So sometimes it fits in well with me bringing Dakini out or whatnot. And also, it's a great target for my Ritual Sanctuary. I don't play the Cyber Petite Angel. Once again, it's not bad. It's just not good. Instead of getting a search, once again, I can search enough with what I'm running. I'd rather run this, be able to reborn with the Ritual Sanctuary effect, a tuner, and then go into things like a Metaphys Horus, which is one of the mini games. Going to actually, in case where I have like, for instance, if I use Gildogger, I only use it once, and this is why you're gonna see why I run certain spells at in the main or especially at more than 1. This also turns Gildogger into an effective Herald of Arclight. And then also creates an appropriate summons for it to be Norden back, and I can synchro from there as well into rank 8s or level 8s. So once again, this card to me it gets rid of dead cards, as well as some other cards I'm playing. It's a great card. Once again, I think everybody should be at least attempting to run it. It's an awesome card. That's it for the monsters. Farm for the spells, Ritual Sanctuary, excellent card. However, like I said, this is not as hyped up. This is what people are trying to make it out to be. The card is actually pretty balanced in my opinion. Being honest with you, you're only going to get the return effect on things that are probably rank 2 or level 2 rather, and level 4. That's it. I mean, what it turns into is something to enhance your game state. It's basically kind of like having another Norden, if you will. I'm not using this to get my spells back. I'm trying to win the game now. I'm not going to use this to reshuffle our Raigeki and hopefully I draw it. I don't +1 off reshuffling, and tell you the truth, what actually happens is in certain cases, when you want your deck to be thin, it adds back bulk to the deck, which is it's exactly what it does. It's a good card, great card, but as for the people going around talking about this busted, it's broken, that's kind of stupid. It just it goes to show Konami was serious about adding support to fairies, but it's a pretty well balanced card. You're only going to really resolve the reborn effect one time, and if you're trying to do it more than that, you're probably going to lose the game anyway. And the search effect is really what it is, discarding a spell to add a light ritual monster or a ritual card. That to me is really where this card shines. So once again, though, to me it's a mandatory at 3. You can't run less than that. It's just not effective. 3 pre-preparation rights. Got to do it. 3 Machine Angel Ritual. Excellent card. Basically, it's kind of like your Gospel Revival for the deck. Gets out your ritual monsters and also protects anything light. Does not have to be a ritual monster. Anything light gets protection from this. You go into your XCs, your Delteros. Especially a lot of the time I go into Castellar Diamond against PK. I have one of these on board or in the graveyard, rather, and I pretty much know that I got game because they just can't destroy. They can't get over it, and that's it. You gotta run the 2 Dawn because no Dawn, no Herald. I run 2 Twin Twisters once again, simply to get rid of back row, and also I have good discard targets with the Gale Doggers I probably don't use, and my Herald of Orange Light. Speaks for itself, kind of. Power 1, I was running Raigeki just to get rid of Floodgate monsters. Instant Fusion for your Northern, want to enhance your game state. Get your rank 4 plays as well. The problem with this deck is it really doesn't have any beef technically outside of when you go into your Xyz monsters, and you want to be able to make sure you're able to do that. So you got to run the one fish. You can run more than one, but I think one is just is necessary. Got to run the OG preparation of rights. I honestly think it's time for this card to come back off the list. Come back to maybe 2. I think 1 is when Necros is in its full power, and they just wanted to do the best they could to keep that deck in check. And obviously Necros not being a thing anymore. It's not and it's honestly, tell you the truth, it's good so I can search out my Ben 10 or my Ida 10 when I need something, but it's not anywhere near the caliber it was when there was a Necros. So I think it's about time. I think it's a little bit old and outdated. Run the 1 Terraform to get to my field spell. The run Oracle, the Herald, obviously to get to my big hero. Also, discard is, you never hear me say this term, discard is broken. You can't negate this card at all. And Herald gets on the field for free, period. There's nothing they can do to stop Herald from getting on the field. And once he's on the field, I have not had one game, and my brother can witness this, one game where Big Herald got out on the field and I lost. Not one. It doesn't even matter. It's just, when Big Herald comes out, and that's it. I think people don't like Big Herald simply because of the cost it takes to get him out, but it's well worth it. And one Vanities just locked my opponent out the game. I want just in case Christie doesn't work, but Vanities gets the job done. Side deck, extra deck first.
We can do the side deck first.
Side deck. Alright. Side deck I run 2 Maxi, obviously. If you're not playing Maxi, then you're a bum. I ran 1 Denko Sekka. This deck loses the back row, but to tell you the truth, the way this has been set up, it deals with back row pretty well. There's no deck that's honestly running so much back row that you need a ton of this and that and third to stop it. It's not like old school BA when they could run 20 traps and whatnot. I think people kind of shied away from that with Twin Twisters being a real thing. And I have 2 Twin in the main, so 1 Denko has been good enough. Got to run the 2 Kaijus, run 2 games, so that might actually get bumped up to 3 just to break boards. Yeah, easy way to break boards. Run 2 Artifact Lancia. I decided to throw this in now simply because I want to get primed in for ABC coming, and Cosmo still around. Kind of Lancia on their turn or whenever, stopping them from being able to banish for a turn, that pretty much wins you the game against Cosmo. And this actually pretty much, I've been playing this a lot on Death Pro, shuts ABC down real hard. Run the 2 Jowgen. Actually got cussed out by a guy on Dev Pro earlier today, believe it or not, because I Jowgened him with Honest in hand, and he just couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh. That's just, everybody knows that's my style. I don't want my opponent to play anything. I want to get in, get out, and then, they collect the money if they paid us. And, got to run the 2 Ghost Ogre. Once again, might get bumped up to 3. I don't know what I'd take out for it, but I don't know. Ghost Ogre is really strong this format. And going to the next format is probably going to be really strong. Dark Hole, remove Floodgate monsters. And my best friend, Lullaby of Obedience. This card is great. This card's hilarious. And I find it trolly and also very effective. Won a game the other day. I Lullaby of Obedience, a guy's Vanity's Fiend. going first, and I actually didn't even have a way to lock him off the game. And only thing I really had was the fact that I slightly kind of bricked after I sided this in, going into game 3. And I just called Vanity's Fiend, and I had enough to make a ritual play and then use that as tribute fodder to get out the Vanity's Fiend. And my opponent just drew into like nothing but Twin Twisters and BA monsters, and he could not do anything. It wouldn't be the game. It was awesome. I love that card. It's a good card, and it's pretty balanced out actually in the fact that my opponent gets to choose what they do with the monster. So yeah. And finally, 2 Grisal Prison. This card's insane in the deck. This pretty much keeps anything that relies on Xyz or Synchro from playing Yu-Gi-Oh. As soon as I flip this, scoop face. It's just pretty much it. Unless they have some type of advanced back row set up to protect them, this is pretty much done. When I get Herald out on board and they're not even able to go into Xyz monsters, especially if I don't have Big Herald, I don't want to waste negation on Big Herald, stopping the inherent summon, I'll just flip over Grisal Prison. They can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Period. Extra deck. Ran the 1 Utopia Beyond. This is the only rank 6 you should be going into. All these guys that are going around running Dragulus and Ptolemy M7 and Gauntlet Launcher and Photon Strike Balancer, stop it. That's it. Those cards do not win you games. I can go ahead and put a rank 6 Utopia Beyond and just win the game right there. Completely zeroing out my opponent's field. Come on. I mean, this is the only rank 6 you should be giving up any type of Herald or even my Cyber Angels. If I go out and summon them, this is the only thing I would give those up in terms of their field presence to go into, because this can actually just win me the game that turn. That's it. I mean, seriously. If you see a guy running Dragulus and he's running Cyber Angels, just tap him on the shoulder like a brother and tell him to kindly stop. Run the 1 Constellar Diamond. This, I mean, shuts down anything dark. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, especially I get this out running the Star Seraph engine. It has like probably 4 or 5 negates on it. It's insane. Get this out with Machine Angel Ritual in the graveyard or Vanity's Flipped Up or anything like that. They just... It's so bad. I mean, it's so many different conditions in this deck where I would just lock guys out, which is what it's aimed to do. It's this great card. Got to run it. Utopia package. If you're not, once again, if you have access to this guy and you're not playing, and you're just not trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh! This format. 2 Delteros, simply because once I get him out of Star Seraph, there's just nothing they can do. I mean, the only way you stop this guy is Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning. That's pretty much it. However, I normally have already played around that back row, destroyed that back row. By the time I bring this guy out, insta +1, then I can detach and blow something else up on the field. This guy completely wrecked Blue Eyes. Last time I played Blue Eyes guy, gotta run him. Great card. Run the 1 Ouroboros. I'm gonna put 2 in. I want to put another one in. Or I need to run 2 Ouroboros. He's just too good right now. He's basically 1/3 of Trishula. I can either banish something from grave, return something, spin something back from field to the hand, or make them discard. Also, once again, he's going to be coming in off my Star Seraph engine, so I'm going to get a free pop, a free draw, and a free one of these 3 effects. I honestly, I'm going to bump him up to 2, because I really wanted to see him at more than once, a few times. I mean, I had the Delteros, but I think Ouroboros would have been a more crippling option for my opponent in a few instances. Now, going into my synchros, run 2 Herald of Arclight. Once again, speak for themselves. It's for Yugioh Dagra. Also, think about running a 3rd, simply because I might want to just have 1 I can go into just off of a synchro play with like a dead Yugioh Dagra. But normally what I'll do is I'll probably like Daigusto Emerald these back, because I do go into my Daigusto. I love that play in the deck. And once again, he still gives me a free negation. And once again, once he negates something, pops and gets sent to the graveyard, he searches anyway. So, I mean, the card's amazing. So, yeah, you get that. Run the 1 Metaphys Horus. This is my rank. This is my level 6 I go into. Metaphys Horus is great. He comes out. He has 3 effects, but we're only going to talk about the one that's relevant to the deck because you don't have a Pendulum Monster or anything else to synchro him with. But when he comes out in effect, if you synchro with effect monster, he can target something on the field and permanently negate it for the rest of the game. So this is awesome. I mean, also, I'm tell you the truth, just speaking of real quick, if you synchro him with like a Pendulum normal monster, that he's broken. Like he automatically gets something and takes something over, and he's unaffected by opponent's card effects. Is great. Run the 1 Cyframe Omega. Because it's Omega. Why not? I have access to it. I actually might run him at that too.
He don't like Omega. He don't like it.
Yeah, I just kind of win a game because of this. This is awesome. No need to explain. This is Omega. Also, well, one thing, a big purpose he really does serve is when I like banish my Machine Age rituals or any of my ritual spells. If you've been running Saphira or whatnot, to use this or to protect anything, he just adds them back to the graveyard. So I mean, it's awesome. Also, the hand control is good. Being able to even just control one card in your opponent's hand is a difference maker. So yeah, obviously the one Norden for your instant fusion, and finally one Dagusto and one Abyss Dweller. He shuts down anything in the graveyard. Yangzing, Metalfoil Yangzing, screw them. And once again, Dagusto, why not? I mean, let's be honest, it's probably the best rank 4 in the game, best rank 4 ever created, in my opinion. And that's pretty much it.
Alright, man. Straight from Team OTK with my bros, Ed Cyber Angel deck profile. Alright, we go.